Hi there everyone, it's Kylie Pertel from Happy Little Stampers back again to show you another video tutorial. This time I'm doing ink smooshing with a twist. These are the stamp sets I'm going to be using today, including my Brushos and a little water mister. I'm going to create this card. Now the twist that I'm going to show you is controlled ink smooshing. Usually it's pretty much all over the place, but I'm going to try and get it to an area and a colors that I like. So I've already embossed my card panel using the Fun Birthday sentiments. I've used that sentiment there, and I'm using one of the stars from the Bold Birthday sentiments. So my prep work is done. I've already embossed where I want it to go. You can do it after you start adding the watercolors, but it is probably better to do it beforehand. Now I'm using mixed media paper here, which does not soak up the water, as well as watercolor paper, so this is a bit of trial and error. So I'm starting with the turquoise Brushos and spritzing it with a little bit of water, and I'm just picking up that excess water around so I can try and control where I place the ink on my card, because usually I would have ink everywhere. I put the whole panel in and smoosh it all around, but this time we're going to try and get the effect of all the different colors blending into each other and creating a fun background. So the water does not soak into the mixed media paper as well, so I keep a paper towel handy just to dab off any excess. And the reason I'm drying it is that then I can get the different contrasts of blue every time that I smooch into the ink. So I'm just going to speed this up a bit. I'm going to keep reapplying the cardstock into the blue ink, drying and dabbing, and repeat this process until I'm happy with how much blue I've got on my paper. And when you finish drying, you'll be able to see that you've got all this fun color, and the blue is all different shades, and it really looks watercolory, not just a massive color in one spot. Gives you a really good effect. So now I'm going to start using my next color. It'll be leaf green, which is a Brushos color. You really actually don't need too much water, but if you do use the bigger sprays, you're going to get overspray. But with the little mini mister, you even get that extra control with the spraying of the water. So here we go. I'm going to do the leaf green, and I've sped this up again. I'm going to get all these colors started, blend them into each other. It really does have a mind of its own on the mixed media paper, but that's okay. That's the effect that we want. And again, the drying in between smooshing really gives you a wonderful effect with the contrast of colors. So I'm going to finish off with the Brusho colors with a yellow, repeating that process again. Now I don't have pink in my Brushos, so I decided to use a distress ink, just an ink pad, which is picked raspberry. Just put some of that ink onto your craft mat. Easy done. Spray it with a bit of water and off you go. I love this color. The pink is really cool. Now that's really starting to look bright and fun. As you can see, I've just moved that color around there even without the heat gun. Just depends on how patient you are, and I'm not quite patient. So my heat gun always comes out. So now here's my little twist as well. I'm going to add some splats in the same area as the color. So I've just picked up with a dry brush, a round brush, some of the picked raspberry and flicked it over near that section of the card. Now usually you would have all this ink probably left on your craft mat. I was wiping it up as I went, but usually I wouldn't, and I'll show you what to do with the rest of that ink once I've finished here. So I have had to add a little bit more to my craft mat. This just adds a little bit of extra fun. We all love splats on our cards, don't we? And it's fun doing it too. This blue, the turquoise in the Brushos, is one of my absolute favourite colours. It is just amazing, the colours you get out of it. And now I've got all this leftover ink on my craft sheet, so I have taken a piece of watercolour paper, and using exactly the same technique, I'm just going to pick up all that colour, smoosh it all over my cardstock. I'm drying in between, and there it is, all finished. It's a great little panel to have. It's a really fun technique. Then make sure, because I haven't embossed on this one, that has to be completely dry. If you do not dry it and then emboss on it, you're going to have problems. So trust me, don't do it. I know, because I've done it before. Okay, so here's the card that I've just made before. And I'm going to mount this on a just a slightly larger black panel. It wasn't quite dry, so just need to dab up that bit of paint. I think mounting it on a black panel will look good. Now obviously there's been a lot of water and heating and going on, so your card is going to be a bit warped, so you can place something heavy on it like this acrylic block or a book. But as I said, I'm not a patient person. It's going straight on my card. So you're not allowed to laugh at me here. I've just got myself an ATG gun and it's going to be a wobbly old ride this poor thing's going to have. I'm left-handed. It's not made for left-handed people, so I'm using it with my right hand. So no laughing at me using this. I shouldn't have even shown you that I was using that. I can hear you laughing from here. But anyway, hopefully a left-handed one may come out in time and I won't look so silly when I'm using it. So now I'm just going to mount this all again onto my card base. Here we go. I should have even sped this up more, shouldn't I? Oh, well, that wasn't too bad. Pop that on there. And there's the finished card. Now, ink smooshing with a twist. I'm going to call it controlled ink smooshing, and I'm loving that effect. How fun was that? Alright, so here's my finished card, and you'll also be able to find all the products listed in the comments below, or the links to the Happy Little Stampers stamps. I really hope you enjoyed it. I've had fun. I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.